The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contest, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. So happy Mail Call Friday. Of course, I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. But if you're tuning into Mail Call, you probably knew that. So we're going to be answering your questions. Last week, we did our first ever video podcast. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. People seem mostly pleased, so that's good.
Yeah. Had a little trouble. We recorded it on my laptop, and the laptop camera had, pretty decent quality, but something about the audio kept kind of getting off track. So next time we're going to try recording with a real camera or at least an iPhone and see if we can't get the audio to line up just a little bit better. And it's so much, you can imagine being in radio, which is both of our professions, around Christmas. It's a busy time, not to mention, I've got a balance between working and finishing up a few Christmas stuff. And on top of that, it's Star Wars,
Star Wars Day.
So it's a lot going on. So forgive us for not having a video podcast, but I promise that's going to become a regular thing once we get through Christmas and New Year's. That I promise you. It's just so busy. We don't really have time to sit down and edit it and line it up. But let's see. Anyways, I guess we would let's see. Let's go down to the bottom.
Yeah, a lot of great compliments. Not all of them are questions, so to speak, but yeah, people liked watching us. They liked looking at us.
Yeah, a lot of complaints too, but we'll keep going. I seriously was about to say, well, that was a fun and only video podcast for me. We'll put you on video and I'll just sit. But anyways, so starting with D.
Yeah.
Which that's not really a question, but she says, y'all so handsome. Stop lying. We appreciate you, D.
He
That's
loves
sweet.
Us and we love you.
We do. All right, JP, you want to go to the next one?
Let's see. Brian Clayton, I effing love you guys. Every time I watch a cast, I feel like I'm hanging with my best friends. I could listen to y'all talk about anything all day long. Well, that's good.
That makes us feel good, because in the beginning, that's what we had said, was that we really wanted to that's what we wanted the podcast to be, just to feel like you were sitting around with a couple of friends at a bar and conversating. So, Brian, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the compliment and the support.
Yeah.
Moving up to my favorite, AH. Unsure why Justin can't eat and finish his food prior to recording. Not sure why AH can't actually listen to the podcast and hear what I said in there.
Tisk, tisk.
Yeah, it's like, shame on me. If you listen to the podcast, I make it very clear that we're super busy and that I hadn't had a chance to eat anything, and then I had to podcast and shoot. Anyways, AH, I love you.
Taco Bell, I mean, it's a siren's call. You can't.
Well, especially too, being that it was acknowledged in the podcast. It's not like I was eating without, But whatever. Sorry for that. Let's see. Oh, it's your turn with Jeep.
It's still so funny how JP looks almost exactly how I pictured him to look based on his voice, and Justin looks absolutely nothing like how he sounds. LOL. Mail call. If you could look like anyone, past or present, who would it be?
Whoever the hell Jeep thinks I look like. Sorry to disappoint. That's kind of my nature.
I would just want to look like me when I had a full head of hair. Yeah, I would just. I'm fine with how I look, if minus the bald.
Yeah, I'd rather look. I want to look however Jeep thinks I look based on my sound, so I don't disappoint her.
Maybe she thought you looked way worse based on your voice,
highly
and it was
doubtful.
a happy surprise.
Highly doubtful. Moving on, work-life balance. Okay, who clicked as fast as I did? Love the beard, and great to see y'all's handsome faces. Thank you. I love how they keep saying beard, like I don't have a beard.
Well, she might have been talking about your beard.
And I just shaved my beard. Remember that?
And I want to trim mine down, but I can't get a decent beard trimmer.
It's so funny. Like, you guys are awesome, because JP, I just trimmed mine about a day or two before that, and then we went to the gym that evening, and JP was like, man, you got me thinking I'm going to trim my beard up some. And I said, well, I got it trimmed low, because what I'm going to do is let it grow back out and shape it as it grows, because the last time I let it grow out, the difference is I didn't shape it as it grew, so it just kind of looked like something from the frontier days. But, in the past, if you go and look on my, my Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you can see sometimes where it's, it's shaped pretty well, but it's longer. But anyways, JP's like, you got me thinking I'm going to shave my beard. But then after that Friday, I think JP's kind of like, I might just leave this thing.
Nah, I just haven't got a decent beard trimmer. The one I got off Amazon doesn't work and yada, yada, yada.
Well, your beard is immaculate.
I look like a very disheveled lumberjack.
But that's my favorite look. That's the look I go for. So, like I said, I just trimmed mine, and you made me really wish that I didn't.
Well, one good thing about beards is they always come back.
Well, speak for yourself. Let's see. And then God bless, just while we're on work-life balance, eat your food, no worries. Work-life balance, you are awesome.
Yeah, Eternal Rex said, awesome podcast. Thank you.
All right, and go on to the next one.
Is Justin Asian? Not to my knowledge.
Are you deaf? I love these questions where people clearly don't listen, but no, I'm not Asian. If you actually listen to that podcast, you'll get the answer to why my eyes look that way.
JP looks like Brutus from the Popeyes cartoon.
I consider that a compliment. Brutus was a big, buff badass. He never could best Popeye, but nonetheless.
Yeah, and he was always, wasn't he essentially trying to, like kidnap Popeye's woman?
Yes.
I mean, he was basically
so looks and personality. You've got Brutus down to a pat.
He was basically a sexual predator, wasn't he?
You got him down to.
Anyway. But yeah. Good times.
Good time. Dalton Pinheiro says, awesome, and then says, how old are you guys? May have said that before, but I forgot. Also, I'm not far in the video, so you may have answered that already. Dalton, we love you, and we appreciate you listening. We'll just say we've crossed the threshold of 30.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
JP is like a while back. We are, we're not quite middle age, right?
No, but, heading there in a hurry.
Thank you so much for listening, Dalton. JP, take it away with D.
All right, D is back. Mail call. Hey guys, were you nervous doing your first video podcast? Justin, you seemed a bit nervous, and JP, you seemed totally chill. D, I was actually a bit drunk, so if by chill you mean drunk, then yes, I was very chill. Just wondering what you all thought, and will you do more? I am giving it 2 thumbs up.
JP will be doing more. We're going to have video with him, and I'm going to be off camera. And like I said in the comments section, I wasn't nervous. I had just got out of the gym, so if the adrenaline and pre-workout flow might have had me a little fidgety, not to mention the fact that I was starving.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't nervous.
And I was a couple of beers in, so that helped with me. Anyway.
Yeah, like I said, the thing is, though, I'm having an identity crisis on this podcast because the times where I try to be energetic and involved, I seem nervous or whatever. But then the times where I lay back and chill, I seem grumpy or whatever. So, I just don't know who to be in this podcast.
It's a weird animal to saddle and to straddle,
Maybe one day you'll teach me. You can continue with D.
All right. I'm dealing with a bad case of bronchitis, and it's hard to kick it. What is the sickest you all have ever been, and how did you handle it? I've never had a major illness. I mean, I've had, I guess, flu-type stuff, but...
You're not going to believe mine.
As an adult, I've never really had, a major illness.
Mine sounds unbelievable. When I was a teenager, I had 4 or 5. I had a busted eardrum or ruptured eardrum. I had bronchitis, pneumonia, the flu... And so I had all of these things, and I mean, if 2 of those don't go together and can't be, then forgive me. It's been a while, but I had a bunch of things happening. I was actually kind of lucky to survive. I was the sickest I've ever been because I typically don't really get sick. All that often. I think maybe once a year I'll get a wicked head cold or something. But it did. I don't know what. I mean, I did. Growing up, I was outside a lot, so I don't know if I was riding 4-wheelers out in the woods and it was too cold and I didn't wrap up. I really don't. I don't know, but it was rough.
Yeah, for me, I mean, unless you want to, count near cases of alcohol poisoning, I've never really had a major illness. But anyway, keeping on with D, mail call. Are you guys at all interested in the show Castle Rock? It's based off Stephen King's story, so I was thinking Justin might like it, although I do know now that Stephen King is not your favorite author. LOL. Ooh, burp coming. It's a really good show.
You're right, D. And Stephen King is definitely in my top 10 or the top 5, maybe even. But I definitely want to see Castle Rock, and the main star in that, I can't remember her name, Lizzie Kaplan or something to that effect. I really like her. I think she's pretty hot.
Yeah,
so.
the previews look good. I don't know if I'll get around to watching it or not. But.
And not to mention she's a wonderful actress. But yeah, so I do really want to see that. I hadn't got around to it, but like JP said, the previews look pretty rad.
Pretty awesome. Okay, D, keeping on. Mail call. What do you like most about where you live, your city, state, and what do you dislike most about it?
Right now, I dislike all the bullshit going on.
Legislation kind of stuff. Yeah, it's
that's some bullshit.
It's a weird time. As far as our city, I have kind of a love-hate relationship. I mean, I got history here, and there are some cool stuff. There's some cool stuff popping up, but I'm
proud of where the cities came from because, I mean, not too long ago, it definitely, some of the areas you wouldn't be caught walking around in are now some of the most happening spots. With breweries and nice restaurants, and there are a lot of people here in the city that are working super, super hard to continue that. And I hope that, because I actually live a town over from JP. I work here, and I've worked in this town for a decade now, but I live, a little ways away, though I did live here for 5 or 6 years, but I now live a town over where I'm from. But I wish my town, I wish would follow this town's example and do more in the downtown area. And yada,
hopefully things will keep moving in the right direction. I've never really wanted to settle down here for the long haul. That might happen. It might not. Who knows? But anyway, keeping on with
absolutely.
The tea. For you both, who are your personal heroes? And I skipped one. I'll go back to.
Go back to the one you skipped because that one
what do you all like most about your job, and what do you dislike? And if you could choose another profession, what would that be? I think we both have the same answer for that one. Mm-hmm. As far as what we don't.
Yeah, we don't really like the sales end of it.
Yeah, selling advertising can be a pain in the keister.
But I think we both really enjoy being on air.
We do, yeah.
Clearly, like production. And
right. I mean, that's what makes us do this, and we love
the creative process, all that.
Yeah, we love that, and live appearances, that's always fun.
Yeah.
But if I could choose something else, I mean, I've thought about stuff in journalism or what's it called where you talk to people about their problems?
Like a psychiatrist or a therapist?
Yeah, like psychology
effect?
kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what I would be doing. I mean, just like JP the other day asked me and said, have you ever thought about going into law enforcement or anything? And I said, yeah, but I think marijuana is too cool to punish people for it. So
yeah.
But I really wish I would have joined the military. I wish when I was younger I would have done that. It's like there's always, I think everybody has that missing gap in their life where one of those I wish I would, regrets. And I think that's one of my biggest ones is not joining the military. I just feel like that was my calling, and I feel like there's just this empty void.
I wish I had have done at least a 4-year stint right out of high school.
Yeah.
But man, it's you're still young enough to join the reserves. So
no, Emma.
Yeah, I think it's 34. I think's the cutoff.
Huh.
So you're. I mean, we're getting to the wire, but yeah, we could do what was that Bill Murray movie, Stripes? We could do Stripes kind of thing.
Might do that.
All right, and last one again, our personal heroes. That's always a weird question to me.
Yeah, mine. If I have to give an answer, I mean, there's a lot of people that. I mean, I have heroes in everyday life. I have friends. Believe it or not, JP can be my hero sometimes. I mean, people. It just depends on their actions. But I mean, if I got to pick a staple hero, I would probably say my grandmother, my mom's mom. I called her. No, excuse me, my dad's mom. I called her Nana.
Right.
And she was just a wonderful human being. She was very accepting and very loving of all peoples, regardless of race, sexuality, any of that. She just loved people. Right. Very, very Christian lady, but not what you think of when it comes to religion as far as, being closed off to stuff. She loved everybody no matter what. She always, I feel like I got to be a lot more of a negative person when she died, if that makes any sense.
I feel you, man. And, I'll keep it personal, too. Justin, I know you're familiar with the Sentry from Marvel Comics.
Yes.
He can be one of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe, but when the Void takes over, he's one of the most evil, destructive villains.
Right.
In the Marvel universe, and that's kind of my mom. She can either be the hero. She just it's one extreme or the other.
Right.
And she is like clinically diagnosed with bipolar stuff, so that it plays into it. But no, I mean, my mom, she's done a lot for me in my life, and she's also been a big pain in the ass. So yeah, my mom, she's either my biggest hero or the ultimate villain.
I'd say my dad is too, as cliche as that sounds. But I mean, my dad and I don't really have a father-son relationship, if that makes any sense. It's like I'm his son, and I know he cares for me, and I know he's there for me if I need him. He's never not been there in a time I've needed him. But it's almost like my little brother and my dad have what you think of with the dad-son parallel,
Right.
And then it's like with me, it just feels more like maybe it's just because I'm the oldest, or maybe we just maybe he just don't really like me that much. But it's like we're more like, I feel more of like a buddy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If that makes, I don't know how to explain it. A buddy would suggest we party together and have fun, and we don't.
Right.
We have fun, but I don't know. I feel like anything I say is going to sound terrible.
And
but
he was pretty super young when he had you, right?
Oh yeah, super young.
So you were kind of like the
I was
test
the experiment,
baby,
yeah. And by the time it got around to my little brother, it was, they had it figured out. But yeah, I mean, he's my hero, just in a sense of like he's a man's man. He's a hard worker. He provides for his family. Like I do look to him as far as how he put his family first, how I want to put my daughter. So, I mean, he's, I'd put him in there as my heroes.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess we don't have to be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, you taking on Zakai?
Oh,
Your old buddy Zakai?
He says that he says, Justin, you're still handsome even if your eyelids aren't fully developed. Thank you.
I mean, they're developed. They just
didn't fully, they just don't work. They're lazy. They're little lazy pieces of shit. All right, and then Zakai says, do you miss Matt? Is there any reasons why he left, excluding the fact he felt like watching The Walking Dead was a chore? And is there a possibility of him returning for one mail call?
Well, we still see him like every day.
Yeah, we still, no, there's no reason in the sense of, I feel like people would think that it'd be, it was nothing bad as to why Matt left. I think, number one, it was just a couple of factors. The fact that he didn't really like The Walking Dead. And Matt wanted more of like a show with segments and skits and things like that, whereas JP and I were more on the same page of we wanted our podcast to be more of a conversational piece. And
a lot of it was scheduling, too.
Scheduling had a lot to do with it. Matt's shift got moved, and basically Matt was going to have to come in really early, whereas JP and I were already still here. Matt would have to come in 2-3 hours before his shift began just to podcast and then sit around, I guess, bored,
he
whatever.
lives like half an hour away or something.
So, yeah, that's a large part of why he's not there.
Yeah, but no, still much love for Matt, and we do still work with him every day. So it's not like he disappeared for y'all, but not for us.
Yeah, and Zekai says, Justin, JP, will you guys consider making a Facebook group dedicated to the podcasting dead? We do have a Facebook page, Zakai. So what do you mean by group? Like maybe make a more private thing? Give us a little bit more elaboration on that, and we definitely would look into it. Because, we're down to do whatever with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Why wasn't The Walking Dead Season 5 and 6 included in the show when it was at its best, considering Season 5 was highly rated by Rotten Tomatoes? I mean, it definitely was good Walking Dead. For me personally, when I think of like The Walking Dead at its best, I think like season 1 through 4.5, I think was when I was just hopelessly in love with this show. And my imagination and my thoughts were just around it all the time. I just feel like that's when it had me sucked in. And then I feel like as we got into season 5 and 6 and all of that, that's where we got into the point where like characters died in finales and I know one would argue, no, Bob didn't die. I get up. But, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it got a little more formulaic as it got into season 5 and 6, whereas in season 3, Lori gets killed in, like, the 4th episode, and you're like, what the hell? Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and really for me to give it an honest shake, I'd really need to go back. I know you've rewatched, a lot more than I have. I really need to go back and do some rewatching to give a full assessment. But anyway.
Zakai, however, I will say I agree with you, though. Season 5 and 6 were awesome. Like, those were good. I think really once they had the fake-out death and then the cliffhanger Negan entrance is kind of what put them in. We're true fans of the show, though, so we'll keep watching it regardless of what they do. We might kick and scream the whole way, but we will watch it. And finally from, we got some more, but we'll go to the next one. And then, in order to win $3 million, would you rather swim in the open sea with the risk of encountering a great white shark or be locked in a coffin naked with a Goliath bird eater spider for an hour? No, I've seen that spider. I don't need to look it up. And
I've never seen it. Big old spider.
I don't think I'm going to win $3 million. If anything, I might would just be locked in that coffin because the bird eater it's a big spider and it hurts. But I mean, I could still kill it. Just move around and something. I can fend off that spider. I can't even in a coffin. I feel like there's more I can do. I can't fend off a great white in the open ocean.
Yeah, and I guess it would depend on how far I've got to swim in the open ocean.
Yeah.
So I didn't consider you could kill the spider.
And I'll let you, since I've read the last few, man. You can read Q's comment and then continue on with some of the guys.
Right on. I picture two totally different guys, LOL. It was great putting a face with the voices. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Got some F. Mary kills from Zakai, Madison, Rosita, Magna.
I don't know, man. I mean, if I got to kill one of them.
Tough.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Kim Dickens is Madison. I mean, obviously you got two younger girls versus Madison, who's a little bit older, but I've always thought she was pretty damn attractive.
Yeah, she is. I think I'd kill Magna,
yes.
F. Madison, and marry Rosita.
Dude, I'm with you all the way. Like I was saying, because Magna, even though I liked her a lot in the comics and the show, she's just kind of pouting right now.
Yeah.
All right.
The next F. Mary kill is Alpha, Gamma, and Lori.
And the next one after this is for you too.
I would. Gamma's he's a psycho. I'd kill Gamma and F Alpha since she's also insane and marry nasty Lori. I mean, she's not nasty, but I was never attracted to Lori. Then we got Jerry, Aaron, and Glenn. I would kill Jerry. Not into fat dudes. I guess I'd marry Aaron and I'd F Glenn. Since I don't think Glenn would really be into it, so it'd be nice to just have a one-off thing. And a Beta Sadiq Abraham. Jeez, this one is a tough one. Again, have to kill Beta because he's completely out of his mind. F Abraham and I guess marry Sadiq as much as I hate Sadiq. So I don't know. That's a tough one, Zakai. You got me. You got me on that one. But some great guys in that lineup. So anyway.
Do you think that technology can get so far? This is from Heidi, by the way. Hi, Heidi. Thank you so much. Do you think that technology can get so far someday that we can smell things through the internet and how it could be useful? I would love it for one reason. I cook a lot and I love to try new things. It would help if I could smell food first. If something smells like ass, it probably won't taste too good either, and it's not worth cooking. You know, when I was younger, a time or two, I remember thinking I caught a whiff of something on the phone. Like, somebody... Actually, true story, man. I swear on my life. I remember my buddy Chris, called me about something we were supposed to be doing that weekend. This is house phones, back when you called and you were like, hey, is Justin there? And we were talking, and then I caught a strong whiff of Tommy Hilfiger cologne, because that was like his thing. Yeah. And I was like, man, I thought I just smelt your cologne. And he was like, I did spray some just a little while ago. I'm getting ready to go out. And I remember thinking, like, probably, it was a brain glitch because I was talking to him and that's what he normally wears, so whatever. But so, I've always thought it'd be cool. I think definitely the technology will be there one day, or at least it'll be able to, on one end, take the smells and then send a signal that'll try to replicate similar smells on the other end.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I wonder, though, if that would, say you wanted to send something like mustard gas through the phone. I don't know. Or
that's scary, man.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I'm sure they will develop that and everything else.
You have a new message from JP. You click, view, and it's just like,
yeah, like freaking anthrax or something.
You know how many friends would be sending you farts through that?
Oh, my God, dude.
You know what I mean? People would be doing that. It'd be like, you have a new message from JP.
Yep. Ugh.
Oh, man, keeping things moving in a forward direction. You can do Eternal Rec, so you can have, the questions to ask. I'll just address Duff, who is long-time listener. Says, I love how you decided to stuff a burrito into your mouth for your first ever video podcast. Glad you appreciated it. All right, on to Eternal Rec.
All right, what are y'all's thoughts on the Mortal Kombat movie reboot? I don't really know anything about that. Does it look good? Who's in it?
I don't know, man. I thought the first Mortal Kombat movie they did wasn't... I remember being a kid, and I didn't think it was terrible, but I definitely It wasn't what I was expecting.
really
But the
don't
first one I
remember
could
about
deal with. The second one, even as a kid, I knew it was awful. Like, I mean, I was a young kid that you could probably slip a bunch of bullshit by, and I still was like, this movie sucks. I think the franchise needs a good movie and a good facelift. Now, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know much about the reboot as far as who's going to be in it, who's directing it, but I'll definitely look into that, and I definitely hope it's a good one.
Yeah, we'll bring it up, man. Once the trailer drops, maybe we'll do a little trailer review.
Mm-hmm.
Eternal Rec is currently reading The Walking Dead Typhoon, and so far it's a badass novel. He highly recommends it.
I'm going to check that out, man. I'm looking for some new reading material.
What is your favorite novel you've ever read? For me, it's probably I know it's a cliche answer, George Orwell's 1984. It definitely shaped the way I think a lot.
Yeah, I love that one. I love. I'm trying to think if I had to put one.
It's always hard when people ask you, so what do you read?
And it's different too, because sometimes you want to give this deep answer, but then sometimes something that has no artistic value and it's just a cheap thrill is a really good read. I love The Remaining by DJ Moles or whatever.
I've heard you talk about that.
And that's not an intellectual or thought-provoking work. It's basically just 28 days later zombies. In a zombie apocalypse against a guy I think he was in the army, but it's nothing really, but it's just a great read. It's fun, it's thrilling, and unlike The Walking Dead, man, this guy doesn't pull any punches. Like characters that you spent a lot of time with and you love, and I mean their death always has meaning or some result, so I guess that's how he makes up for it. But man, he'll kill off anybody in a heartbeat. Yeah. Anybody. I mean, characters that you've loved and you think, they're in a tight spot. Surely they're going to get out. Next thing you know, he's describing them being torn apart, and you're like, the hell? But I don't know, man. It's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff I've enjoyed.
I like 1984.
I don't know if you've ever read anything about Jonathan Ames. I really liked Wake Up, Sir, The Extra Man. I like novels about degenerate writers writing about being degenerate writers. Like Bukowski's Post Office. That was another fave of mine.
No. Well, I mean, maybe.
I'm telling you though, that Remaining that sounds like it needs an adaptation of some sort.
Oh, it definitely needs
describe it. Man.
Yeah, it needs a movie or a miniseries. I mean, and it's honestly, I love the Walking Dead comic, and I might have said before it's better, but I really don't know if I could say it's absolutely better, but it's on par with it.
Yeah. And you said the author's not too far.
He don't live far from us at all. No, he's written some other really good works. Another piece of work of his that's interesting to read, and I would say it's definitely got a little bit more philosophical value, I would say, than the Remaining series is. I'm having a brain fart. I've told JP I must have holes in my frontal lobe because I can't think anymore. What is his? Oh, Wolves. He wrote and it's a big book, but it's called Wolves. What's cool about that is it's a dystopian future, but in it has nothing to do with zombies. It's a time in the future when it said they just call it the Sky Fire, so we assume like a nuke or something. It could have been a solar flare. Who knows? Something happened and took humanity back. No power, no nothing like that. And basically, there are slave traders, and they capture his daughter. And it's actually really good and really thought-provoking, just kind of the nature of man without law and where we would go if the system we had now just crumbled. It's like The Wolves by DJ Moles. Check that out, man. That's a really good book. It's a long read, but it's unlike, Yeah. But yeah, I'll think on that because there are a lot. I mean, Fight Club was a great book.
Yeah, it was.
It's hard to pick like a definitive favorite. There's not really, I don't think, one book that just shaped. I mean, I love the classics like Moby Dick and Fry. Gosh, I've read so many. It's hard to pick one.
It is. That's always a tough question for me.
But yeah, we'll go back to that. Sorry, I know I went off on a tangent there. It's just hard to.
Here's a fun one. Which DC or Marvel characters would you see in the Barn of Pleasures? Female characters only. We both get a pick. So who you bringing in?
Wonder Woman, brother.
Yeah.
Can I pick Gal Gadot? However you say her last name. Can I pick her Wonder Woman?
Yeah, whatever version you want. Oh man.
Even Ezekiel would be like, "What a hot mama!"
I'm telling you, man. There was a cosplay cover for Gwenpool this week. That's not a character I really know much about. I don't read it, but the person on that cover, man, she could definitely get an invite.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's a tough one because there's so many, man. Every character in comics is drawn to be sexy as hell,
Yep.
So that is
You know a book I do like? House of Leaves.
I've never read
It's
it.
really interesting how it reads. I've got it if you ever want it. My copy's all torn up because I took it all over the place, but that's a good one. I'll be sprinkling in books here throughout the rest of this podcast.
Now they're starting to hit. Yeah. How would you feel if Father Gabriel gets his comic death this season? It would be gruesome and awesome, and
I think it needs to happen. I do like Father Gabriel now, and I've found myself like I love his turnaround. I love his journey from coward and helpless to being a leader and someone that you could look up to. But at the end of the day, we need someone. The important. That's what about going back to season 3 and stuff, man. Important characters died.
Yeah,
and it had a big impact. Whereas we didn't have to wait till finales and premieres for kind of, sort of major, more or less, kind of minor characters to die. So anyways.
All right, and last from our friend Eternal Rec, what are y'all's top 3 favorite N64 games? Man, now you talk about a lot to choose from.
Oh, man, I've got it. You ready?
All right, lay it on me.
Mario 64.
Okay.
Banjo-Kazooie.
All right.
And GoldenEye.
Okay. GoldenEye's on mine. Cruising the World, I played the hell out of that. And, God, what was that Star Wars game?
Fahrenheit 451. I kept wanting to say Ladder something, man. That was another one.
Yeah,
that
that's
I really
a good
liked.
one, too.
That was another one I really liked. I kept wanting to say Ladder 45, and I'm like, that's not what it's called. Why am I? So I say, man, my brain is To Kill a Mockingbird's another one that I was a really big fan of. Yeah. I mean, it's long and boring. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a really good.
You've accomplished.
Yeah, it's a really good read. Like you know.
Yeah. But my last one I think would be Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. I'm pretty
so
sure
recap. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I just got excited because I don't know how long it's gonna stay in my brain, so I have to throw it at you while it's there.
No, just GoldenEye, Cruising the World, and Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire.
What's Cruising the World? Is that one of the driving games?
It was just an awesome race game. Yeah, awesome.
Is that the one where you could hit people or have the half naked girls?
I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't know what.
I know we played it a lot. It was a great race. All right, we're moving into Brianne McCann. You taking on Brianne? You want to split her up? That sounded a little dirty. I apologize.
We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to make sure that's Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye, and Mario. I'm trying to think if there's any other games that I think those were probably the ones I played the most.
Many good ones.
Yeah, they were. I love the N64.
There was I'm not even a sports game guy, but like Ken Griffey, there was a Ken Griffey game I really enjoyed.
Love the video, guys. JP, I'd love to see that baby face underneath all that fur. Do you ever shave it, or do you prefer to keep the beard?
I would much rather have a clean shave, but being bald, I kind of think it's just a better look having the beard. So,
if you go back on our channel, you can find where he played a video game.
That's true.
We've got several videos on our channel of JP Bareface. So
because I've only had the beard for going on a couple of years now. But no, if I had my druthers, I would just have a full head of hair and a clean shave. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have a beard sometimes, but It is what it is,
Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your future or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself?
Wow, that's wild.
I think I'm going to pick mine. I don't want to know your future. Like if you're about to die in 10 minutes, I don't want to try to keep that. You know what I mean?
I don't know that I won't. Yeah, I guess I'd pick mine. It'd be a good way to. It'd kind of be like that episode of Rick and Morty, the crystal, where you see how you're going to die and it guides you. Not exactly, but sort of.
Let's see. Would you rather have an easy job working for someone else or work for yourself but work incredibly hard?
Ooh, that's tough.
I guess as I get older, I'd probably just rather have an easy job for someone else as long as I'm getting paid pretty good.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, we've talked in the past about how cool it'd be if we actually owned our own radio station.
Oh, yeah.
So with the right endeavor, I think it'd be cool to, have your
I wouldn't mind working incredibly hard if it was mine, if I was going to prosper off of it.
Yeah. And that's the scariest thing about doing something like that is it's all on you, the success or the failure,
Mm-hmm. Justin, Taco Bell is your post-workout. Really? I don't think I need to say anything. The only thing you gain by eating that garbage is a colon cleanse and a satisfied soul, sister. So
it is delicious, and it does tear up my butthole. So I feel you there, Brady.
I'm not going to say it's never made me have to run to the bathroom, but it doesn't. Not in the way other people seem to deal with it.
My stomach's a little bit more sensitive than yours.
Would you rather to be able to explore a planet or be the inventor of a drug that cured a disease? God, I'd like to do both.
Yeah,
I guess I'd probably rather create the drug to cure disease, just to
that
help
would be the
people.
less selfish,
Right, just to die knowing I helped people.
Yeah, and there's a lot of diseases out there that need cures, but I'd want to pull a Dr. Manhattan and just go to another planet, even though he did just go to Mars, which is I don't guess there's much to do on Mars, but
Yep. Let's see. Almost done with Brienne here. What would you rather be able to control with your mind, animals or electronics?
I don't really want to control animals. That seems kind of
Cruel,
creepy,
yeah.
But electronics, man, pretty soon they're going to be synced up with our brain anyway, so that'll probably be a reality before long.
Do you believe Jules is a spy for the Whisperers at Oceanside? Why or why not? Yes.
No,
Just because I've seen a lot of articles talking about
I
it.
hadn't even considered that, but yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah, I think that she is just because she's, getting close with Luke. Not that Luke isn't an awesome gentleman. I mean, but she's getting. I don't know. I guess the reason is I'm scarred from Dante. If they're very nice to you, and they got to be a whisperer.
Right.
All right. Moving on to Corey Andros.
Yeah, apparently has the same Justice League shirt as me with Wonder Woman right on the left nipple. Yeah, it's a good place for her to be. So yeah, oh boy, Scrate. Scrate's getting a little wild up here at the top of the list from 2 days ago. You want me to dig into this one, or you want to?
I mean, you can, whatever.
It doesn't matter to me. It's getting a little wild. JP, if you guys were a couple, who would be top and who would be bottom? And Justin, even if you get jealous, you're not answering this one because you'd want to be the top. He's not into butt stuff, so obviously, yeah. My favorite bear, JP, is tearing that ass. I mean, that's a tough question, but I mean, I have said that, I am open to pleasures of the prostate, so I guess that would be the logical scenario.
What's the logical scenario?
Just that I would be the bottom. I guess that's how it'd have to go down. Ending this this mail call on a very weird note, but we love you, Scrady5, and yeah, I'm glad you enjoy my hairy physique, even though I don't know how they would have. Anyway, but yeah, I am a hairy man.
Lastly, Corey Andros. He left it 19 minutes ago.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So, yeah, here we go. So, Dogman for Weird Wednesday next week. Loved Black Eyed Kids. I'm glad you liked it, man. We didn't do it. We were going to do a Dogman, right? But then we decided not to.
Yeah, we couldn't really find anything super compelling, but we can definitely.
Yeah, Corey, can you send us something, man? Because everything we find is basically just werewolves.
Yeah.
And I mean, werewolves are badass, but we all know about werewolves. So if you've got something on Dogman or like encounters or something, man, please shoot them to podcastingdeadpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll definitely look into that, man. We just want to discuss whatever you want to hear. I watched Tusk thanks to you guys. I knew what it was.
Nice.
I knew what it was about going in and watched it just for that, but it was still kind of shocking. What movies have made you guys go what the fuck while watching it? Oh, man, there's an old horror movie called Sick, I think.
I've never seen that one. Cannibal Holocaust, that was a nasty one.
Sick is really just terrible. It's a horror movie with really bad acting and effects and stuff. That one made me say, what the fuck? But it wasn't because I was disturbed. It was mainly... There was one I don't know the name of, but it was like this creepy neighbor who came in, and the acting was awful. Mm-hmm. Like for one part that cracked me up was the guy called the house, right? And the woman answers, and then he goes, something, 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 meow, meow, meow. And she throws the phone, and she's like, Johnny was on the phone. He said meow, meow, meow. But like he like is sitting there picking scabs off himself and eating them.
Ew.
And like that had me going, what the fuck?
Man, that's what I miss about like video rental places, man. You could find like movies like that. I know there's still stuff like that on Netflix and stuff.
Oh yeah, man. That's what me and my our mutual friend Jesse and our other friend Deanne used to do is go to Blockbuster just trying to rent terrible
Yeah.
Oh wait, we got one more question from Corey that was in there and I skipped it. Totally forgot. Best Christmas gift you ever got?
Oh man. I found not too long ago a picture of me opening up my Super Nintendo for Christmas. So that, my four-wheeler, though, that might have to be it, because that four-wheeler was badass. But the Super Nintendo, I definitely played the hell out of, and I still have it.
Yeah, I definitely four-wheeler maybe. I got a Swiss Army knife one time that really just made my day. Yeah. Let's see. I think one of the most excited I've ever been, though, was when I got my PlayStation and I got Resident Evil 2 and the strategy guide on like how to beat it. I think that I was just ridiculously excited.
And for our friends around the world, when we say four-wheeler, I know some people call them like quad bikes or ATVs or whatever. But yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a fun last mail call.
No, stop.
Nah, I'm just playing. I'll be on the next one. But I think from now on, I think the way mail call is going to go is I am going to let JP do all the reading and answering, and I'm just going to sit back and speculate when needed.
Well, I said we can set aside the homoeroticism for like a segment of mail call. We'll figure it out.
You do whatever you want, brother. Mail call is your baby now.
No, I'm
riding shotgun. You do whatever you want to do. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I doubt we'll have a mail call next week because of the fact of the holiday. Actually, you might not get one for the next 2 weeks because if we get enough questions, we'll make sure that you get one next week. But if it's just kind of scant on the questions, then we might just pull them all together. So I don't know. You'll get a podcast on Monday. That's for sure. I'm sure we'll be able to slip in a Patreon cast here or there. Mm-hmm. But, as far as mail call, it'll depend on the number of questions.
Yeah, and we might do a remote one again, do it through a Google Hangout or something. We'll figure it out, so stay tuned.
Yeah, well, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and a happy Kwanzaa, New Year.
Have you ever met anyone who actually celebrates? I've never met anyone who celebrates that.
I want to say I had a teacher that did back in elementary school. I really feel like I remember. And if not, I remember her teaching us a lot about it. She was very passionate about it. But I actually have only met, I know some Jewish people, but I've only actually met a few people that celebrate Hanukkah. Yeah,
there's not a heavy Jewish population in our little town, so it's not like we're avoiding the Jews. There's just not a lot to go around.
I don't think anybody around here is like anti-Jewish sentiment. It's just you don't see it a lot around here.
There's probably some. You remember not too long ago, some local Klansmen were leaving little leaflets on our buddy Matt Crowder street, so...
I just thought that was a joke.
Nah, dude, they're like, it's not too far over the Carolina border, man, is a little hotbed of Klan activity.
What you should have done is gotten that Superman versus the Klan comic that you have over there at the comic shop and just found out where they live and just leave that on their doorstep.
Superman's coming for y'all, motherfuckers.
Superman's coming for that ass.
Yeah, he is.
But, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you around soon, I'm sure.
We will. We'll be present through the holidays, just not as present.
Yeah. And once we get through the new year, everything will be back to normal.
Yeah.
So, be good, be safe, and go be nice to somebody. I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we'll see you soon.